I can make my joke. I'm so excited.
We'll see how it edits together.
Let it snow. We didn't rehearse that, folks. Okay, fine. Hey everybody, it's Eliza.
And Sam here to break down episode 6 of season 12 of RuPaul's Drag Race. It's the Snatch Game!
Welcome to Snatch Game!
We'll be giving you our takes on last night's episode, so from this point on, there will be spoilers.
Be sure to stick around to the end because we've got our scorecard and we're gonna be rating these queens. So, let's get right into it. It's a Snatch Game. Let's go.
I am excited!
So we have our Snatch Game judges this week, our Mean Girls cast, Daniel Franzese and Jonathan Bennett.
So at the top of the episode, we've got Britta versus Aiden. Again, we see that Britta feels like Aiden should also have been the bottom with her. The claws are coming out.
Wow.
Oh, okay, cute.
So as the queens were preparing for the Snatch Game, we got to see our lovely guest, Miss Vanjie.
Vanjie.
So she was there to say what not to do, which was just hilarious. Rue's look was fabulous. The emerald green suit.
When she gave Crystal a hug, she was like,
Now, don't cry on my suit.
Vanjie and Rue going around the workroom. Rue was really tough on some of these girls in the workroom.
Oh, definitely.
All you bitches come in here and you think you're Meryl Streep.
Maybe Rue is sick of bad Snatch Game performances.
I feel like you need more specific advice sometimes.
You see that volley that you just did? That's what Snatch Game is.
Wait, no. When she said she wanted to be Tina Turner, I was like, cool, awesome. Then when she said,
I'm thinking of doing Ike and Tina.
oh. And then obviously she got really personal later on, talking about her own experience with abusive relationships.
I picked, Tina Turner for the sole purpose that I've been through a lot of relationships that were very abusive.
You really see what a difference it makes to have people in your life who care about you and who accept you.
Like now with my husband of 2 years, I got a fabulous marriage and I have a great cat.
Come on, Kat.
I will move on to Aiden.
I am doing Patricia Quinn.
Who's that?
She played Magenta in the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I love Magenta, but then she didn't do an accent. She didn't do any Rocky Horror references. Just so many missed opportunities.
Well, I still have no clue what the hell's going on here.
Heidi was Leslie Jones, and the best part is she showed up in her Drag Race judging look, which was awesome. Rue was concerned. She was trying to switch her to someone Southern.
Why did you choose someone who's got a Southern accent who's very close to your personality?
It was fine. It seemed fine. Leslie's a really big personality. It's maybe tough to capture that perfectly, but it seems like, she did a good job. Middle of the pack, for sure.
What berries are black?
Blackberries.
On to Jan.
Jan was Bernadette Peters. It was good. It was cute. We found out that Jan apparently does a great Kris Jenner.
I did Call Me Mother for my tape as Kris Jenner walking around my uncle's house.
And also, now that I know it exists, I need to see Jan's audition tape. We must have.
Please, Jan, release the tape.
Please, Jan.
Bernadette Peters was good, had a good kind of affectation. Jan lived in the character.
So let's send in the clowns.
Yeah.
Wait, they're already here.
Oh my God, Crystal. Poppy. Who? Rue suggested that she be Eldebarge. I don't know what Eldebarge's personality is per se.
Crystal's biggest problem for me is that she was not doing any yes and. Every time Rue threw her something, she would smack it down.
I've never heard of that.
Great title for a song. I'd love to hear you sing it right now.
They don't let me release my music without permission.
Well, I think we're giving you permission right now, Poppy.
They.
There has to be more of a back and forth. That's what was missing. Because that's the thing about Snatch Game. It's not just about who can do the most accurate impersonation. You're always doing a very extra, over-the-top version of that character.
Daniel Franzese said it great at the end. He was saying,
you just gotta give them like a +1. Like, she's this plus she's angry, or she's this plus she's like slutty.
so let's just move right on to Jackie.
Jackie did Lisa Rinna. She was so good.
Harry Hamlin, I love you, baby. Yeah, from LA
Harry Hamlin.
Yeah.
Hamlin. Have you met my husband?
Yeah.
Say it one more time.
Harry Hamlin. Don't talk about my husband.
It was pretty obvious that she was one of the tops.
It was great. Jackie knew her character, stayed in character, just committed to all of her jokes. I loved it.
And Vanjie was checking her out in the workroom.
Oh my God, Vanjie, you gotta look for love outside of the workroom.
You are cute.
Oh, I'm known for going into the workroom and walking out with a piece. I ain't no sugar mama, but I could give you a Lunchable or something,
But I mean, can you blame her? Jackie, Brooklyn? Woo.
I am, as Jackie's merch says, here for Cox. Jackie redeemed Canada in the Snatch Game.
Right, because Brooklyn did Celine Dion.
It took them 100 years to find it.
Yes.
They got it out of the ocean and then she threw it back in.
She threw it back in.
Yes.
Who are we doing next? Gigi! Sophia the Robot, aka Maria the Robot.
I absolutely adore Gigi's confidence. She was so good. I had faith in her from the beginning when she was like so confident in the workroom.
I understand your concern, but I do not have the same concern.
Okay.
The deadpan robot character who just doesn't get it is hilarious. It's Data, it's 7 of 9.
C-3PO. I mean, as soon as she said, "What's up, bitch?"
Yeah.
You knew it was on. I think Gigi's smartest move was to pick a character where she could build in pauses and stalling into her answers.
Do you know Siri and Alexa?
1 second, searching. Okay, here's what I found. She's my sister, bitch.
Not everyone gets that luxury, and it was so well fit into her character.
And she's had such tiny little mannerisms too, like she would move her mouth.
The cards.
Watching her try to pick up her cards, comedy gold.
I said, vagina.
Jada was Cardi B. It was not bad, you know, it was funny. I feel also like they didn't show that much of her. Britta was Jennifer Holliday.
I don't know if Britta's style is really jiving with this competition.
Jennifer Holliday is really just a loud version of Britta.
The top was clearly the top. The bottom was clearly the bottom, and the middle of the pack was very middle of the pack. Compared to some of the train wrecks that have happened, it was a strong Snatch Game.
Backstage, as we're seeing the queens reflect on Snatch Game, Heidi and Widow both saying that it's not necessarily what you expect.
Snatch Game was a whole different animal than I thought it was gonna be, but I feel like I did enough to stay another week.
You can prepare all you want, but at the end of the day, it's an improv challenge.
When it was lights, camera, action, I was just... like, I was just struck.
Back in the workroom after, Gigi talking about his, her, their perceptions on gender.
I don't even think I've ever said this out loud, but I think I'm fluid.
I was totally here for this. We stan a non-binary queen in this household. Opening up about that vulnerability just was that extra little gut punch that got me on Team Gigi this week.
Sometimes I identify as more male, and sometimes I identify as more feminine. I think I'm both and I'm neither.
Good morning, Miss Gigi. I'm on your team. Let's take it to the runway.
To the runway. Category is Frozen Eleganza. Is this not a perfect runway for MsMojo? You've got your Disney. You've got your RuPaul's Drag Race. Two things that we know.
Oh yeah, I saw the runway. I'm like, oh no, why did we not ask Emily to be part of this one?
What's up, Elsa? What's up?
Heidi, beautiful, all white, classy, the huge hat.
Head held up so high, because you know she's the high empress to the Yeti folk.
Heidi always has a story. That's what I love, is she knows exactly who she is walking down the runway. It gave me such Ice Queen. I friggin' loved it.
She's on her way down to the ski resort and she's hoping to find her a husband, someone who can help carry her big muff around.
Jackie was beautiful. She was like a silvery blue classic snowflake queen.
The whole thing was just so elegant, so artistic.
Also, we got to see her with blonde hair, which was cool. I like the little tiny small touch of darker roots in the blonde. It gave it like a little air of authenticity. Oh, Jada.
Ice Goddess, Jada, always killing the runways. What can you say?
Storm in a snowstorm.
Jan in another edgy look. That was really cool. She was like Elsa turned White Walker, which was awesome. And when she ripped off her braid, just like spun it off.
Jan, I think, is kind of being criminally overlooked in a lot of these runways. This look was so worthy of a judge's critique, and she didn't get that moment. I cannot wait until the competition kind of thins out a bit and there's more room for Jan to breathe.
Next was Widow. She had a Titanic look, which I thought was clever, but there wasn't enough frozen icy stuff.
Got a facial from a blizzard.
It needed like to be pumped up.
Speaking of pumped up, what was with that tube around her? I thought it was gonna be like a fun prop. She just like kept it on as part of her silhouette.
Oh, she's got a lip sync for your life preserver.
Gigi's look was super cute. She was like an old-fashioned ice cream parlor server.
Gigi good. As any gender representation, yes please.
The one thing I will say is that she is starting to do sometimes the same silhouette. I'm really eager to see what else Gigi's got in store.
Now we're at AZ, Aiden Zane.
A to Z. I liked Aiden's look. It was sexy, Yeti glam. It was simple, but in my opinion, it was still fully realized.
She gives kind of a really good minimal style that pulls focus to the things you want to look at. I totally got the Rudolph reference, the Yeti.
I think it was the most glamorous we've seen Aiden so far too. Oh, then we had Britta. I thought Britta's look was really glam. She managed to integrate some pink and yellow in there, but you still got the idea that it was a frozen, icy challenge.
I think she delivered on her runway look tonight, although it did not make up for her Snatch Game.
Very true. The last person is Crystal.
Crystal, oh, I was living for this one.
At first I wasn't quite sure. I really appreciated that it was different, but the more I looked at it, the more I was like, okay, yeah, I get it. This is actually really, really, really cool.
My runway look is inspired by Mr. Freeze from Batman and Robin.
And Mr. Freeze, hilarious reference. Nice to meet you.
Let's kick some ice.
What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age!
You saw the back lining of the jacket as she threw it over her shoulder. I'm like, yes, Crystal. Another runway outfit that couldn't make up for a subpar Snatch Game, though.
So the judges. We had 2 stars from Mean Girls. We had Daniel Francesi and Jonathan Bennett, who played Damien and Aaron Samuels, respectively. When they introduced him in the Snatch Game, and he was like,
Fall for you, RuCoco. You go, RuCoco.
you know, he was just like, I've said this line a million times.
Fall for you, Glen Coco. You go, Glen Coco.
The top of the week were Jackie and Gigi.
Congratulations, you're the winner of this week's challenge.
The bottom competitors were Aiden, Britta, and Crystal. And I thought to myself, it's probably going to be Aiden and Crystal in the bottom. But of course, why would you want to miss up the opportunity to have Aiden and Britta, who we've seen pitted against each other for the last few episodes, lip sync?
Aiden. Britta. I'm sorry, my dears, but you are up for elimination.
Britta was in the bottom. She's been in the bottom 3 weeks in a row now, which is, I'm sure, not how she pictured it going.
I was afraid for Aiden once I saw that she was up against Britta. In a lip sync, I was pretty confident that Britta was gonna turn it out. Even if she'd struggled here and there in the competition, she's experienced, and she didn't disappoint. And there was snow!
They were kind of doing the same thing, but Britta was just doing it bigger, knew the words better, was giving more face, more motion, more action.
Bitch, I even brought a magic trick.
Aiden just did not match Britta's energy, unfortunately. And so Sam, we both had to lose our favorite.
Aiden, you are a queen with a special power. Never let it go. Now, sashay away.
I was not as devastated as you were probably over Nikki because Aiden had already had a few chances.
Unfortunately, it just seemed like her time.
In the game of Snatch, you either win or you die.
We haven't seen the last of Aiden Zane.
No.
So on that note,
that brings us to our leaderboard. Gigi won this week's competition, so she gets 2 points, putting her at 6, running away with this competition. Jackie gets 1 point this week. She's now tied for second with Jada and Widow. We have Jan still with 1 point, Heidi at -1, Crystal in the bottom this week, putting her at -2 points, and Britta being in the bottom 3 weeks in a row now has -5. Now let's move on to the power rankings. These are the rankings for just the last 3 weeks of competition. As we can see, Gigi is still in first place with 5 points. Jackie still clinging to that second place with 2 points. We have Jada, Widow, and Jan each with 1 point in the last 3 weeks. Heidi and Crystal in the last 3 weeks are at -2 each. And Britta, since all of her appearances in the bottom have been in the last 3 weeks, she stays at -5 points for the power rankings.
Man, I really want to see Britta bring it next week. Now that you've said the exact scores, I'm like, come on, girl. We know you've got it. Let's do it. Come on.
Show us some New York City, Britta.
That is it for us this week. Now it is your turn to let us know what you thought of the Snatch Game. Please let us know in the comments because we read them, even the essays, and we love them.
We especially love the essays. We love how much you guys are engaging in the discussion about this season. Please never stop commenting. Remember to like, subscribe, go on over to Instagram to follow us at MsWatchMojo. You can follow me on Instagram at TheBeatEasy or on Twitter at BeatEasy.
Let's do this again next Saturday, right here on MsMojo. Until then, please be kind and be well.
Bye.
Bye.